fake. Who did he see when he heard who was there? Now it seems that he should.
Hi, everybody. Welcome out to the Lager Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, November the 19th, 2024. Jersey Johnny coming at you. And with me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Hello. Beer.
What did you say? Who farted? That's what you said on yours.
Well, yeah. It's like, there's only two of us, so someone must have farted and scared our guest off.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought maybe you were drinking hoof-hearted beer tonight.
No.
Yeah, gotcha.
I never really got that pun. Hoof-hearted.
I just told you now.
Wow. Okay, I'm tired. I'm drinking my beer.
I was going to say, you might as well just drink your beer because if you haven't guessed, tonight is just the two of us. And if you did read the post before you clicked on the show to watch or listen, then you'll know it was just the two of us.
Just like Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Just like Rocky and Bullwinkle. Rocky, how are you? That's about as best as I can do there. And I can't do Rocky, so I'm not going to.
Please stop.
I did already.
Well, so what's that little blonde girl who did the voice of Rocky?
Yeah, I forget the name. Anyway, yeah, that was her. Anyway, it's just the two of us. Our guest, we had to that last minute reschedule. They will be on in January, and it will be a good show. But we will carry on tonight. But we have plenty to talk about because there is a holiday coming up. It's a couple, actually. A few. Many. But there's one.
National Zinfandel Day tomorrow.
National Zinfandel Day tomorrow, exactly. And whatchamacallit. So we're going to discuss some holiday prep. We're going to discuss a little beer news, just interesting beer things that are happening and going on right now. And we actually may have a guest popping on with us. That one of our common commenters.
Yes,
will be
who has regularly bitched out for not having him on the show. So
exactly,
we're going to shut his ass up tonight.
And we know it's just him busting our chops, but we're calling his bluff, so he's coming on the show.
So yeah, absolutely.
There you go. So
and also Friday. I just found out about this holiday, and it's way too damn late. It is actually National Yeti Day, and it's not the cooler. It's not the snow monster.
It's the beer.
It's actually the beer from Great Divide.
National Yeti Day. Now, is it the Friday before Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Or is it the specific date that this Friday?
Nope, it's the Friday before Thanksgiving, and
interesting.
And it's really annoying because ever since Hunterdon went under, we don't get Great Divide in New Jersey anymore.
We do not. No, we do not.
So, and I couldn't find it going online to Halftime Spirits.
Right. There's got to be a way. Well, look. Hey, you know what? Great Divide is in Colorado. All right. We know people in Colorado.
We just heard a song from Colorado, sung by a guy from Colorado.
Our intro.
The bass players of Colorado.
The whole band is from Denver. So.
But only one of them is on your sportscast.
This is true.
Harry with the nuts of love.
This is very true. So we can definitely acquire some Great Divide when needed.
Just not in time.
Just not in time for next week. No, this Friday. Yeah,
this Friday.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Mr. David Campanelle, Esquire. Of course, he put the Esquire in there, so because he has to.
Hey,
bound by law to actually say that, right?
So we finally have counsel on the show.
Finally, all the cease and desists I've gotten from both of you.
It wasn't a cease and desist. It was a restraining order. Get it right. You would think you remember these things. You are a lawyer.
No. You said the restraining order. I said the cease and desist.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. That's what it was.
No, but I'm trying to figure out what bet did I lose this week.
Yeah, you took the Giants against laying 5 against the bye. I took the bye. That's the bet you lost.
Yeah, tell me about it. So what's going on, guys? How you guys doing tonight?
Just peachy.
There's no peach in my beer.
There's no peach in your beer.
Do I have any peach beers? I may have a peach beer.
I had a peach beer. Matt grabbed me a peach beer from Burlington Beer Company while I was up in Vermont a month and a half or so ago.
I mean, a lot of the peaches.
Was it good?
A lot of the beers I have are peaches, but I don't know if them actually have peach in them. The Almanac might. Let's see.
Um,
You have to put that in the fridge.
I think you should.
Drink that soon. Drink it soon. Figure out what's going on.
There you go. Just that's going to be an open. So I had to type that in there. So anyway, yeah, you know what? I'm thirsty for a beer, and then we can discuss what's going on. So, Dave, what are you drinking? Because you already poured.
No, this is something I had you lug back from back to lugs again. Lugs and nuts.
Lugs and nuts.
We brought
Is
back.
it Harry?
Harry likes to lugs nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he have to lug them? Are they really?
I didn't want to know. I just
this is what you brought back from one of the ones you brought back from Treehouse. Is a 6-pack of 12-ounce cans. Well,
Yeah.
Easy does it. This is their Czech style lager, and I've got to say this thing is fucking yums. I really enjoyed this one. So
fucking yums.
fucking yums.
It's a technical term, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it
fucking
is.
yums.
Yums.
There you go. Council.
I know what you're drinking.
Yes, Council. What are you drinking?
Well, right now I actually have from I poured it into a Giants cup just to,
Oh,
Piss me off.
celebrate some Tommy cutlets.
I was going to say, are
There
you
you
eating
go.
cutlets with it? That's
All right,
Um,
ready? Come on.
I have a Mansker.
Come on. Hello.
you got to do it.
There you go.
Hey, you got to do it. Look at my boy out there.
Mansker Brewing out of Hackettstown did a brown ale with juniper in it. And I have to say it is drinking very nice. It has like that gin type of finish, but it gives you that malty backbone like that you're looking for from a brown ale.
Really, a brown ale with juniper.
Yeah, it was really one of Joe's not like an experiment, but he does a beer every year with the Land Conservancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this part of the world. So he it was his way to blend kind of the forest and the
Trees.
Yeah, trees together.
Just joking there about a bear.
What are you drinking there, John?
I am drinking something that I lug back for myself from Chilling up in Littleton, New Hampshire. Palmovka 12. It's a Czech style Pilsner.
That was, you see that map on there? That is actually their rail system.
That's the rail system there.
I had actually on my phone. I had the app to just be able to scan.
No, hold on, just clarification. This is the rail system in Czechia. This is not the rail system in Littleton, New Hampshire.
That's the rail system in Prague.
In Prague. Well,
and if you look right around the point,
as opposed to Czechia,
I think somewhere around the point of the V is the hospital where I spent some time.
90% of your time in Prague.
Yeah, just about. I did I did spend a little time on that rail line though.
There you go.
Had nothing to do with the hospital. That was going off to Beer Geek Bar. And if you ever get to Prague Beer Geek Bar, you will find a few things. You'll find a carton sticker. You will find a Spider Bite sticker.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cane sticker there.
Mm-hmm.
There is a Coastal Brew Works sticker there, and there is a Beer Samurai sticker there now.
There you go.
And you will also find some really knowledgeable beer tenders and some great fucking beer. Definitely get there if you get to Prague.
Well, cheers, gents.
Cheers.
There you go.
So you really left your mark on Prague, Dave.
Well, it left its mark on me. Let's put it, so to speak. I had expected to drink that city dry, and I think I had 4 beers total.
So you left it better than when you got.
Oh no, I had 7 beers total. I forgot about dinner.
All right, folks, we have a comment from Dave Campanelle. What is this? Oh, no, sorry.
Oh no, wrong.
No, it's Brian Boak commenting. Cheers, guys. First beer, Common Roots, Fritzy Oktoberfest.
That doesn't sound like it would suck.
It sounds like there's zero suck in that beer.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
And Common Roots is
zero
been on the
suck in
show.
anything Brian drinks.
This is true too. But what should we call it? Christian Weber and crew from good friends of the show, good friends of the brewery. Yep. His wife Melanie and everybody up there. Common Roots. Cheers to Common Roots, but cheers to Brian for drinking Common Roots too on the show tonight. There you go.
That's up in New York, just south of the Adirondack Park.
Oh, yes, this is true. Yeah, in South Glens Falls. So, but anyway, so all right. we figured we talk about some holiday preps and some other stuff going on in beer. Let's talk about holiday prep though. Why to start off with that? I mean, there's a lot of traditions, right? That all of us do individually, as groups, as whatever. Leading up to Thanksgiving and of course to Christmas. But we'll just focus on what's right in front of us, and not just Thanksgiving,
my keyboard,
and not just Thanksgiving either. But by the way, I forgot to say Happy National Macchiato Day, everybody.
Well, we'll talk about
that. That is today.
We will talk about that later.
Well, we will. We'll come back to. We'll circle back to it.
And I'm more than happy to talk about my keyboard.
Well, there you go.
The battery died earlier today. I just replaced the battery. Yeah, it's got a AAA. The dead one's still sitting right here.
So it's a holiday preparations. You're changing your battery in your keyboard.
Well, you said let's talk about what's right in front of us. This is right in front of me.
I see what you did there. All right. The holiday that's right in front of us.
Oh, and Brian's drinking an Oktoberfest beer. I'm wearing an Oktoberfest shirt.
There you go.
This is from Forest and Maine.
I have a lot of waves on tonight.
You're tri-waved.
I'm tri-waved. I've had them on all day. I got home and.
Oh, okay. So it's not who farted. It's just John.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Exactly.
We got it.
It was very wavy. We're very wavy down here.
Now we know.
Anyway, so let's start. Council, how do you prep for Thanksgiving? Food wise, beer wise. I mean, you don't have to tell me.
Or you just go to
shower in the morning,
or just go to somebody else's house.
Yeah.
We actually, since I started dating my wife, which was over 11 years ago,
which is weird, like
your
wife
you're
already,
married,
and then you started dating her.
So wait a second, you're cheating on your wife with your wife. That's
odd.
That's clever. How do you? How do they not find out?
It's Tuesday.
No, there you go. Anyway.
So when I started dating my now wife,
your then girlfriend,
my then girlfriend,
now wife.
Okay. I would go to her parents' house every year.
Okay.
And
not on Thanksgiving, just every year.
Yeah, every year we live there.
That'd be because his parents. Because his parents have a cease and desist against him.
There you go. Right.
There we go. So for Thanksgiving, we would go there every year. It's a big holiday for my wife's family.
Sure.
And now that we moved, we live in New Jersey in Roxbury, where my father-in-law actually grew up. So we bring a fresh turkey from Ashley Farms. They raise them there, kill them. We bring it out to Pennsylvania every year. And then, of course, I have to bring just a bunch of beer with me. My father-in-law has scotch and bourbon. He makes his legendary Manhattans. And, we just kind of we have to remember it's a marathon, not a sprint day.
I may actually just take a ride out there this week.
To Manhattans.
I mean, when I heard legendary Manhattan, I mean, I was sold right there.
Yeah. I like me a good Manhattan, but I do like the way I make them. But I'm always open to other methodologies.
This is very true. And speaking of that, not to go off on a tangent because we never do that on this show. But
we do speak about trigonometry occasionally, even though we're not supposed to do math.
Never a cosine, just a tangent, right?
Yeah. Oh God, my son wants me to cosine for an apartment.
Oh Jesus!
I'm not kidding. I might get a text a little later on.
Right.
Did I ever show you my phone? You see the logo on the phone?
Yes, I see the logo.
Okay. Anyway.
Is that trademark there, sir?
Exactly.
I do need to trademark that.
You do need to. So in any event, we on a cocktail podcast a couple weeks ago, our other host, mine and Dave's other host, Tom, he did a
that podcast, right?
Yeah, he did a Manhattan, right? But the bourbon that he used in the Manhattan was actually made with Speyside malt. So it was a Scotch-ish bourbon. No. So we were trying to say whether it's not really a Manhattan because it's got kind of Scotch malt in it, but it's not really a Rob Roy because it's a bourbon. So is it a Rob Hatton or a Man Roy?
I think it should have been a Band-Aid Hatton.
A Band-Aid Hatton?
Well, sometimes that camphor gets like really Band-Aid flavor. to it. So
That stuff does, yeah, occasion.
Yeah.
If it's good, it doesn't, but sometimes it does.
well, and the space side stuff really tends to be quite peaty.
Space side is very
Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, so continue. So your Manhattans, any Rob Roy's because he's got Scotch. So.
Yeah, we do them all. My brother-in-law will start with the Rob Roy's, probably making his at like, who knows, during the Cowboys game, and then the avalanche begins.
This year, I'm going to need to drink a lot during the Cowboys game.
It's very interesting because it's going to be the two backup quarterbacks.
That's true.
Let's call it what it is. It's the Giants game this year. It's not a Cowboy.
That's true. I mean, it's time. Who would have thought like that Thanksgiving primetime afternoon game, Tommy DeVito versus Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush.
I didn't have that bet.
No one did. Except for Netflix.
Yeah, really.
No, and then we do our traditional, apple pies, pumpkin pie, keep it simple.
There you go.
I do go to my Chilton Mill. I pick up about 5 crowlers for the weekend.
Very nice.
And just kind of wing it at that point.
Nice. Very nice.
So, but what about you guys? Anything I could steal from you guys?
You want to have at it, Samurai?
Well,
I'll do
John and I are both very similar as far as the night before. We're doing a lot of cooking, right? So there's other than the turkey and some of the sides, most of it gets done the day before. I mean, 2 days before, I'll probably do the cranberry sauce. I like doing cranberry sauce myself. I do understand there's a lot of people who don't think it's cranberry sauce unless it has the contours of the can right on it. And that's fine. And that's great for sandwiches, if you're doing your turkey sandwich. But I like to make my own cranberry sauce because you can actually spread it on the bread for sandwiches, so that works too. But I do my stuffing the night before. I do the soup the night before. And the reason I do the soup the night before is because everyone knows soup the next day is always better. So you do that. And I do an apple almond cream soup.
Ooh, apple almond cream soup.
Right. And if you remember, one year we did favorite Thanksgiving leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
And my number one was taking a dollop of the stuffing, put it in the middle of the bowl, heating that up, and then ladling soup around the edge.
Around it. Yep.
And then you just spoon some of that
stuffing down into the soup.
So like an inverse bread bowl.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very good.
So good. But so it's really a lot of cooking the night before. Boiling the eggs. So to make the deviled eggs for the next day, because deviled eggs is a tradition. Always been a tradition. And then, I'm brining the turkey. You got to brine the turkey.
Got to brine the turkey. So that gets done the night before. So that's for prep. That's it. And the next morning, I mean, I don't probably crack my first one open until like the games begin, or maybe until I see Santa Claus in the Macy's parade. Yeah, I'm.
That's on what, 10?
Right. No, it's noon actually.
And what's really cool this year, our company finally made the day after Thanksgiving a paid day off.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
I have been in the company 28 years, and this is a long time coming. So it's not been bad being owned by LVMH and the richest man on the planet. I know everyone thinks it's Elon Musk. It's not Elon Musk. It's Bernard Arnault, president of our company. But at any rate.
There you go. So I'm very similar to Dave. I do a lot of cooking the day before. So like we do 2 meals, right? We don't just do the turkey.
Well, he's Italian.
Italian too.
So are you, Dave?
Yeah. So
yeah, I grew up with the lasagna and all.
Oh yeah, no. We do lasagna first. So we got. I do an Italian meat platter and fresh mozzarella and red roasted peppers and tomatoes and stuff and my father.
John, just a word. Bratwurst is not an Italian meat.
I know it's not.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying. There's no bratwurst involved in Thanksgiving?
There's no bratwurst involved in Thanksgiving. No.
I would have put money on that one.
Capicola, mortadella.
I would have put dollars to cutlets that there would be.
No brats. But depending on, the kids are all older now, so no brats. No, I'm kidding. They were never brats.
I was gonna say I thought you were gonna say they're still brats.
No, they're not. They were never brats. But good kids. But in any event, Yeah, and then my father always brings down shrimp, and then we have lasagna at like probably halftime of the first game. We have lasagna. Maybe second quarter, mid second quarter, late second quarter, early halftime, somewhere in there. We'll have the lasagna, but it's just lasagna. That's it. There's no like I'll make a couple artichokes, and we'll all have a couple of pieces of artichoke, but it's just lasagna.
I don't eat those, man. They choked already. They ain't gonna choke.
Yeah, but you're not stymie, so you don't have to worry about it.
You remember,
Of course.
even though you can't see that anymore because
Yeah.
someone bought it all and then
Yep.
got himself tossed in jail.
Uh-huh.
So we're not gonna
Which
get
we got, and then we retired to the rest of the football game, and then the second football game, and then around halftime, late halftime, early third quarter of the second game, that's when we do turkey, stuffing, the whole 9 yards of it. But the day before, Jess always makes the stuffing during the day before, and I prep all the Italian stuff that night. I make sauce, my homemade sauce. Make my homemade meatballs. I put the lasagna together, and do all the cooking, all of that prep the night before. I'm having some holiday beers, but there's one holiday beer that I don't have the night before. The tradition has changed of late in the last couple of years. I'll explain in a minute. But one holiday beer I don't have the night before. I don't have it till the turkey's in the oven in the morning. In the morning, put the turkey in the oven.
That's 6 o'clock.
No. I get up at like 7. I get the turkey prepped between. I get it going like by 8. Everything's in the oven by like 8:30. So clean up, and I sit down and I try to time it. So I'm sitting down. Everything's in the oven. Everything's cleaned up, and I'm sitting down at 9 o'clock when the parade begins, and I crack my first Sierra Nevada celebration. Well, it's actually technically now for the last few years, it's been my second Sierra Nevada celebration of the year. Because my first one I have on the show on Tuesday night, which is next Tuesday. I'll have the first one then. So.
Right.
But technicality. Yeah.
Now, how do you prep your turkey? I've got a very particular way I like to do.
Hold on one second. Just want to get Brian's in here. He said he will be deep frying a 20-pound turkey at the Giants game this Sunday.
John weighs a bit much more than 20 pounds.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, yeah. I'm not the turkey.
Oh,
this week.
This week. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Later on. So it's got to get a big enough deep fryer, though. That's the problem. Yeah.
Anyway, needs to be tall.
Exactly. So continue. You were saying, Dave.
I was asking how you prep your turkey.
Oh, me. What you call it? I don't brine it. I prep it in the morning. I will. I use butter. I use rosemary. I use garlic.
Rosemary Clooney.
Rosemary Clooney. Yep. She comes over and helps.
She's good at that.
Yeah. Now butter, garlic, rosemary, and salt, pepper. Okay. And then in the pan, I cut up 2 oranges and 1 lemon, and just put it on the bottom, so that so all the drippings are going down into the lemon and the oranges. So there's a little bit of citrus in there while I'm taking it and then basting the turkey with that. So, and it always comes out. I try to time it, and I get oven's perfect size so that I can actually fit the lasagna in there when I need to without removing the turkey. Years ago, I actually had to put it in earlier because I had to take the turkey out, cook the lasagna, then take the lasagna out, put the turkey back in, and finish it. Now I have a big enough oven. I have a big enough onion.
It's got layers.
You got to peel them back. But I have a big enough oven that I can do it all at once. So, but yeah. So So the turkey's prepped, and I don't stuff the turkey. We do the stuffing separately. Never put the stuffing in the cavity. That's a no-no. And there you go. I will say this though. I do the Friday. You were talking earlier. The Friday before.
The Yeti Day.
The Yeti Day, the Friday before Thanksgiving. The Friday before Thanksgiving every year since before I was born, but I've been doing it every year since I was a teenager. My old firehouse in North Arlington, we have turkey night. Okay? So
I know this one.
Yeah, it's we get together all the current members, former members, life members, ex-chiefs, everybody gathers at the firehouse Friday before Thanksgiving. Then we have turkey night. We have turkey dinner, and celebrate the season and have a few beers and
So it's a members
some
only.
war stories.
It's a members only thing.
It's members only thing. Yeah.
You get your own special jacket.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. With members only. We all wear the members only jackets.
There.
Right. Yeah. But no, we have.
You never see those anymore.
No, you don't. We tell some war stories, and so forth and so on. But the reason I bring this up is
The stuff.
we're talking about stuffing. Yeah,
Mhm.
the stuffing that we make. Well, I don't make it. I've made it before, but Rob, one of the ex-chiefs there, he makes it every year. Makes it fantastic. It's the White Castle stuffing. So it's White Castle burgers made into stuffing, and it is fucking fantastic.
Which makes a lot of sense. You got the meat. The thing is, you order them without ketchup, though, right?
You order them without ketchup and without pickles.
And not without pickles, right? So you got the meat, you got the onions, you got the bread. There's not much more else you need to do it unless you like celery or stuffing, and not everyone does.
Nope.
Maybe throw some herbs in it.
Yeah, herbs. That's what they do. They add herbs to it.
Yeah, like Herb Albert.
Herb Albert. Yep, Herb Albert.
Herb Albert.
Herb from WKRP.
Yeah, Tarlick.
Herb Tarlick.
Tarlick. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that stuffing's fantastic. So anyway,
Yeah, I think we'll try that. So I do the bird. Yes, you got to do the butter. You have to do the butter.
Mhm.
I like to take the wings, turn them underneath the bird,
okay.
so that there's
So it can't fly away.
they can't fly away. And the bottom is rough chopped onion, carrot, and celery.
Okay.
And then the cavity, usually in the cavity, I'm shoving in some cut up onions and the herbs.
Mm-hmm.
They go into the cavity. And that's how I roast it. Now, what it does, it releases all those, when the turkey releases all its juices, I'm using those drippings to make the gravy. And it's already flavored with all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a really delicious gravy when you do it that way. So I like doing that. There are some people that'll take the truss the legs, which is fine. It helps a little more even cooking, but the thighs cook quicker than the breast anyway. So I'm not sure. You kind of want it to not do that. I don't at any rate. I think they might do it to, like, when they do stuff the turkey, truss the legs to keep the heat in to cook the stuffing, so you don't get salmonella from your damn stuffing. Another thing I've seen people do is there's that flap of skin around the cavity on the sides,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen people put slits in those, cross the drumsticks and
Stick them in. Yep.
and stick them in.
Yep.
And that's another way of trussing it if you don't have the butcher's twine. I've done it with chickens. I don't do it with the turkey. I do try to get the tail stuck up more into the cavity, though. I don't want that sitting down in the fat, because the turkey tail, that's always mine.
There you go.
That's mine.
Now let me ask you a question. Either or both of you. The neck.
I'll tell you what I do with the neck.
All right.
The neck and all the things that are in that bag on the inside, that all gets put into a pot.
Called giblets.
They're called the giblets. Not to be confused with a giblet or a giblet.
No.
Anyway, or a gibbet even.
Or gibbous.
That's very
Face
lunar,
of the moon.
very very lunar of you. But what I do is I put those. I get some butter, put them in a pan, brown them all up. Then once they're browned, then I'll take turkey stock, put turkey stock in that, get that flavored up, and that turkey stock and the drippings out of the pan, they come together for the gravy.
There you go. Yeah,
Oh.
it's good giblet gravy.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't do what some people do and then grind it all up into it. No,
No, just you have it flavor it, and then
Yep.
you remove them and you just use the
Yeah.
drippings. Yeah,
And
I get
I know people that
still a
will not-
giblet gravy because it's flavored
Yep.
with the giblets, but you don't have the actual pieces of the giblets in there.
Yeah, exactly. And I know some people who will gnaw on the neck after that, which is great. I'll actually eat the kidneys. Not the liver, but I'll eat the kidneys. One
You
time
eat
I
your
took-
kids' knees? What?
yeah, it's only if they're really, really dirty. But I have tried the heart. There's really no flavor to the heart. It's
Yeah.
just really, really chewy. So I don't even bother eating that anymore. This coming from the guy who, in Hofbrau, they're at the kickoff of Oktoberfest this year, ate the brain out of the
You did.
suckling pig.
What are you gonna say?
They gave me
Out of the beer tender.
there was no brain there. This is the one in New York. No, they gave because I'm looking because they got the whole thing cut up and the head sitting there on a plate. I'm like, you mind if I like grab the cheek from it because the cheek meat of the pig is delicious.
Sure.
And they're like, take the whole thing. Like, it's so good. So yeah, so I ate the cheeks. I didn't eat, but I did, and I tried the brain, nice and creamy.
Creamy.
It was creamy. It was nice and creamy.
Catch up
growing-
catch up on 2 comments, and then I want you to say it, Dave. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Brian Boak just said he has very large brew pots to deep fry a 200-pound turkey. Yep, nope, still nothing there for me.
Yeah, you're a little off, Brad. And he's got another one.
If you got 2 of them, you can cut me in half. You want to do that, but and he says he cooks breast down so dark meat fat melts into the white meat and does not dry out. That's pretty cool.
In the fryer, yeah.
And then flip it last hour to crisp up skin. There you go.
Oh, he's talking about the oven then.
He's talking about the oven, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Counsel, you're
I was gonna say, growing up, my dad would take like the carcass after he picked everything off and all the leftovers, the neck and everything, and then Friday morning he would make like a turkey stew. He'd make his own stock. He'd do all that, and it was just like another way to use everything so things didn't go to waste, and just give you another way to enjoy your turkey. And it like smelling that on like a Friday, because my mom would do the turkey dinner on Thursday, so that would be my dad. Like he would do Friday because my mom wasn't cooking again.
Saturday was all the leftovers, and then Saturday I like to do the soup. I used to do turkey wild rice soup, and it's a mixture of wild rice and also
turkey
long grain. But yeah, make your own stock first. I go through so much carrot, onions, and celery to make this because I make the stock with what the French call mirepoix. Mirepoix. And then when I strain it, they're in there with the carcass. Then I strain it all out. So I've got just a liquid. Then I go through the pot after it cools down and then grab all the any meat that's left over from it, and then redo the onion, celery, and carrots for when I actually make the soup. Problem is, I'd always add, because some people do this, a lot of people do this. I'd always add too much rice, so it'd be stoop more than a soup.
Sometimes stoop isn't a bad thing, though.
Oh, it's not a bad thing, especially if it's cold out.
Mm-hmm.
That'll stick to your ribs meal right there. So John's opening second. I've already opened mine, so I'm going to tell you what it is. I had to squeeze the can to get every last droppiness of goodness. This is Oxen beer. So this is the oat lager. This is from Schilling.
Yeah. And where'd you get that one?
Did you bring me this back with this one too?
I did. Yeah.
Because I know I've gotten a bunch at the store. Because we do get a pretty good distro of Schilling down here. So this beer is really, really nice. After drinking the Czech lager, it's almost like there's a little lemon sense to it, which is weird.
Interesting.
Wouldn't expect it. Excuse me.
I am drinking again Schilling. I'll give you 3 guesses who was supposed to come on tonight, but I'm drinking Schilling. I won't say who, but they'll be on in January. Polish lager. So it's Petrin.
Petrine 11.
Petrine 11. Yeah, Petrine 11. It's Polish.
I don't know how to say that. I'm pretending like I know how to read the diacritical marks. No, it's Slavic writing.
Petrin. Let's just call it Petrin. Yeah, there we go. It's Polo Tomave lager. So there you go.
It's probably pronounced snowflake.
Probably is.
Yeah, something like that.
Counsel, you have a second beer you opened, or you're still working on your?
Still working on the first one.
Still working on your first one. Well, I'll give you kudos to that, because I mean you do have a small child at home.
Yes.
And you did just have dinner, and you had I know there was bath time. We
did the whole routine.
So is she down now, or is she still?
Or is she resisting?
She's fine, but we think she's kind of outgrown the crib at this point. So I would say the last week or so, she's probably ended up in our bed every single night at some point or another.
How old is she now?
She's like almost 2.5.
Almost 2.5. Wow. Wasn't she just born a minute ago?
I thought so.
There you go.
I it feels that way. My wife and I step outside and we're like, I remember walking her, like bringing her through the door and everything. And now we have a walking, talking human being that asks us to take her to Chilton Mill and the breweries. I'm like, oh, great. Last thing I need at daycare is my child to go, I go to the brewery.
every weekend. Now, isn't it the weirdest thing to walk into a hospital as 2 people and walk out as 3?
3, yeah, exactly.
That was odd.
But I think the strangest thing was walking out with my first child and
leaving your wife in the hospital.
Yeah, if only. No, the fact that they're letting me walk out with this thing, I'm just walking out with it. No one's stopping me.
Okay.
Like, you haven't met me. Why would you let me take this little bundle of need
Right.
home with me? This is something. There's a crime being committed here.
Because it's yours, right? They
I should never have been allowed.
So,
your kids are fine. Don't underestimate yourself there.
I thought like Dave did, because when we had my daughter, it was as the COVID regulations were kind of ending at hospitals were letting visitors back in and stuff like that. And we had the supply chain shortages. So we get into recovery and I look at the nurse, it's, I don't know, 12 o'clock at night or something. And I go, where's the manual? And without skipping a beat, the nurse goes, supply chain shortages. It's in the mail. And I go, I knew I was going to love this place for a couple
perfect.
Well done.
That's perfect.
So I was just like, I don't have to take a test or anything. I mean, I had to take a test to get my bar degree, which I still think,
I didn't
questions about that one.
I didn't have to take a test to go to the bar. I just go. Seriously.
This is true.
Well,
But with me,
people ask if I pass the bar. I say yes, but I always turn.
No, I never pass the bar. I turn around and go back. Yeah, I passed it before, but I go back. Yeah, but I know I know how you feel.
Sometimes I pass the bar on the way to the bathroom.
There you go. But I feel like I just seriously, and I'm not even saying this is like a tongue in cheek, because that's how we all feel, right? But seriously, it's just like it was yesterday that my oldest daughter was born. She's gonna be 31 years old in January. So.
Well, I think we did the math when I saw you guys at the Giants game.
Right.
One of you, think John or Brian could be my dad. Based on my age in math.
Well,
I thought it was all 3 of us.
All 3 of us really could.
I'm 35.
You're 35. Yeah.
All 3 of us could.
My former stepson, if you will. I'll still call him my stepson or whatever. He is. When's your birthday?
October 30th.
October 30th, and you just turned 35?
Yeah.
Okay. My former stepson turned 35 in May. So he's older than you. So
you got to get to Brian's comments here.
So yeah.
do his
he goes,
first.
me, I'm your dad. Actually,
I am your father.
Me, I'm your dad. Right. There you go. I am your brewer. I mean, father. There you go. My kids are about 50. Yeah.
So you
Brian was 13 and a half when he had his kids. So there you go.
and if keeping with family tradition, Campanile could be his grandson.
This is very true. This is very, very true.
That could work out too.
I'll throw his other comment up there too. He said turkey hash on Friday, chopped up turkey stuffing, butter, a little gravy fried up. That's awesome. I love that. That's really good.
One way I would do my turkey hash, because you've got to get the crate of the damn things and you don't use them all. Turkey sweet potato hash.
That's exactly what I do. I don't do it as hash, but what I do is I make an omelet. And this sounds disgusting, but it's fan-friggin-tastic.
You better put maple syrup in it.
Is maple syrup sugar?
Stuffing, turkey, sweet potatoes as an omelet in eggs, and then I pour maple syrup over.
There you go. I put maple syrup in the turkey sweet potato hash.
There you go.
It is. It's
fantastic.
Quite fantastic.
But yeah, So Glenn is going to be 36 in May, so he's older than you. So yeah, so there you go.
There you go.
Son! No, I'm kidding.
I'm the youngest.
There you go. Yeah. Well, the in the group, on the Beer Rant Shenanigans group.
Yeah.
You are the youngest, and Brian is the oldest.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. There you go.
There you go.
And that makes James a very
Dave and I and Brian are Brian,
the
the
middle.
other Brian. We're not in the middle. We're closer to Brian.
Close, closer to Vogue. We're near the top end. Gene was the baby until Campanile Jordan. Excuse me.
Yes.
No, Joe Granat was the baby.
Oh, Granite. He wasn't in that group.
That's true. He wasn't in that group.
We just added him.
So actually,
Lynch was the baby
James,
from it.
James was the baby.
Yeah. James was the baby, and he was very grateful that I showed up.
Yeah. Yeah, like we stopped ripping him at all about anything.
This
Not
is true.
Bayonne.
There you go.
Not Bayonne.
Not Bayonne. You can't rip about Bayonne. One more coming from Brian. Sweet potato slices layered with apple slices, butter, brown sugar, then cooked, then topped with those little marshmallows.
Well, that's now a dessert. Now we're getting into dessert.
Now we're getting into dessert. That's actually, well, it's not really. I mean, it's a dessert and it's not a dessert, right? Because it's got the sweet potatoes in there. Apples can go either way. Brown butter.
So sweet potato pie is not a dessert, John?
Is it sweet potato pie? Is that what he's making, or is it sweet potato?
No, but you just said
No, I know. But you can. But hey, you do a sweet potato casserole. You put marshmallows on the top of it. It's still an appetizer.
I like
right?
that little backtrack. I like the little backtrack right there. That would be great for a witness stand.
No.
No. Hold on. Let me clarify.
That side dish is still a goddamn dessert.
You're right. It's a
dessert. Even the sweet potato casserole, it is a dessert masking itself as an appetizer.
Masquerading as
that's all it is.
That's
all it is.
All right.
You put marshmallows on anything, it becomes a dessert.
This is very true.
Or in beer.
In beer. And it's a casserole. It's not pie. See? There you go.
No, I wasn't calling it a pie. I was just saying, because you said that wasn't a dessert because it had sweet potatoes in it. That
and you said sweet potato pie isn't a dessert. I see where you are.
From the same argument. See, there's a lot of legal shenanigans.
We're an old couple here. That's just fine.
This is
it's legal squabbling.
It was Felix Unger Day a few days ago, so
yes, it was.
I mean, this is the modern
day Odd Couple Day. It was Odd Couple Day,
yeah, Odd Couple Day.
On November 13th, Felix Unger was asked to remove himself from his place of residence. That request came from his wife. Deep down, he knew she was right, but he also knew that someday he would return to her.
And I do love it when they did it with Messier and Gretzky when Gretzky joined the Rangers.
Now, that was good. That was classic. So anyway, all right. What do you? So you drink? So Dave Campanile, counsel.
Yeah,
I'll call counsel.
I'm counsel.
Counsel and samurai. There you
go.
Counsel. So I'm gonna assume you drink more brown liquor on Thanksgiving than beer.
What?
Just you get a couple of the Chilton Mill crowlers.
Yeah, I tend to steer more into the brown liquor than beer, but the night before will be a beer night, so I'm not overly what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not tired of what I'm drinking the next day.
Oh, I got you.
Palate
fatigue. Yeah. So what I do is I normally I drink beer the night before, and then I drink beer from the morning, obviously, as I stated. I will during the turkey, and this is odd because I will have
during the cooking of the turkey or the eating of the turkey,
just during the turkey right here.
During the turkey.
During the turkey. Right
the wearing of the turkey.
The wearing of the turkey. The being of the turkey. How's that? I will have one glass because somebody inevitably brings over a bottle of because it's just out Beaujolais Nouveau.
Yes, it is.
All right. So I will have one glass of Beaujolais Nouveau. A half a glass because I'm drinking beer all day. I don't need a lot of wine, but I'm gonna drink a little bit of that. I'm gonna sip on that while I'm eating the turkey. Not during the lasagnas, you think I would, but I actually enjoy. By the time I get to lasagna, I'm just wolfing that down so fast. There's not time to enjoy wine with it, so I'm just kind of beer with it. So
yeah, I was gonna say, what beer do you pair with your lasagna?
I'll give you three guesses.
Sierra Nevada Celebration.
There you go. You didn't even need the three.
You don't need them.
Yeah. But in any event, later on at night, though, once the food is done and we're doing desserts, the beer stops, and that's when I'll drink. I might drink a cordial or two, but then I'll have either some
do you drink
old fashions. What's that?
Do you drink it cordially?
Of course, always.
Now the 21st is Beaujolais Nouveau Day.
November 21st.
Yep, it is.
Okay.
So that's the annual release of the Beaujolais Nouveau.
Okay.
But like you, the night before I'm drinking beer.
Mhm.
Then during the day it's beer. We sit down for dinner. We almost always have wine
Mhm.
with the dinner, and it's always a red.
Right.
Though we're quite heavy on rosés right now.
Fair enough.
Chateau de Clan.
Okay.
They're the ones that make Whispering Angels, Rock Angels.
See, my brother-in-law is in charge of the wine, so whatever he brings, people will dabble in. I just say, you know what? If I want to steer clear of that hangover, I need to steer clear of the wine.
Well, that's exactly why I'll have a half a glass. I will drink plenty. Usually not the next day, because next day, Black Friday, there's a lot of black IPAs on the palette that day. On the schedule, I should say. On the docket that day.
On the docket, I was going to say.
Docket
with counsel on the show.
I was going to say it's usually for Black Friday. It's usually a lot of, for me on the docket, it's a lot of bourbon barrel aged stouts. That's really when.
I'll have a few of those.
But that's traditionally in this state is release of black IPAs. It is when Epitome comes out. Though they've started doing it prior to Thanksgiving.
They are releasing it prior to Thanksgiving now.
We shall not name has messed up with the calendar.
Yes,
he has changed things up to make sure he gets the pre-Thanksgiving Day sale. So that's smart. It's good business.
and we released our Black Friday offering a couple weeks early too, which is of course
Creature of this one. Yes,
the vertical migration to Black Lager. You did have that at the game, right?
Yes, that was delicious.
And last year was the collab Preacher from the Black Lagoon.
A beer from the Black Lagoon.
Beer from Black Lagoon with alternate ending.
Yes. We were the plan was, it was on the schedule, wasn't on their schedule, it was on our schedule to make it this year, but things got changed around, and it long story short, we didn't brew it, and it was too late to put it on their schedule, so it will make an appearance next year again.
Okay.
So, but
mark it on your calendars, folks.
Mark it on your calendars, folks. But we have our Black Lager, so have at that. Dropped off a bunch of cases of that today, so there's a lot of cases out there.
Down in
Jersey,
Forest Fire Country.
Yeah, in Forest Fire Country. Yeah, not up in Forest Fire Country, down in Forest Fire Country. So there's a lot
I ask for it everywhere I go up here.
Yeah, there will be drops between now and next Wednesday up north. So I will let you know where they are.
There you go.
Very nice.
Oh, did you find your portico? Did you find the
No, so I have been this starting the middle of last week through this week is always my I like to say my crazy time of year for work. Which is a good thing. It's always good to have work when you're working for yourself and running your own business, as John knows. But there's a lot of people, breweries, stuff like that want things done now because of the holiday. And then, so I have not made my trip over to a liquor outlet yet. But my buddy and I,
because they have this.
Yes.
This is what he's looking for.
That's what he's looking for? And that is, what is that?
This is an Italian style portico from Schilling.
No, what style of beer is it?
Italian style.
Oh, it's Italian. Oh, that's right. I did see that. Yeah, it's Italian style. Well, that's one of the locations that's getting a drop. So you might want to drag your feet on going there until we get the beer there, and then you can kill two birds with one stone.
I believe,
and drop about $300.
Yes, a buddy from law school. A buddy from law school and myself actually are taking next week off. It's our first vacations of the year, so we're Monday or Tuesday is our plan to go out to Boonton and JR and just have a boys' day. And relax.
JRs, have a cigar, have a beer or two, and then
out on Route 10.
Yeah, so my office is right on Route 10, about 2 minutes from Autodidact.
Nice.
You could just push my car down and I'll be at Autodidact.
Nice.
Who are putting out some fantastic IPAs right now.
Ronnie is making some good beer. Yes, he is.
But if you're going to JR, stop at Double Tap.
Yes. Not too much further down. Nope, they're a little up the road. They're actually by my dad's old office, Double Tap. That was a post office when my dad had his office.
Post office, yeah.
I used to work right up the road from there when it was the post office, and then during the hurricane, which flooded that post office and destroyed it, if I was still working there, I would probably be at that brewery every single night
Right.
that they were open.
They just-
I said they were.
I was gonna say you'd probably be there every single night anyway. Just hanging out at Chris or anything.
And I was
Yeah.
going to say, too, Double Tap just released a Rausch beer last week, I read. So I'm very
You
excited.
did.
Yeah, I saw that. A Rauk. Yeah, they got a Rauk out now. Someone posted up about it.
I may have to
Probably-
stop there for I might have to get up there.
Yeah, we got to get up there before a certain show that's happening in January.
That's very true. That's very
I'll
true.
have to- I'll have to-
Although I have enough Rauks for 3 of those shows right now.
well, and tomorrow there's
Close to 4.
a couple Grodzitskis that are going to be delivered.
Very nice. Very nice.
So
Very nice.
yeah, I've got a package coming from Canada apparently.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh.
Yes, and that might be from somebody that was on the show last week.
It very well might be. That's oddly specific, so I think you're right.
I said it might be. Okay. And Brian just says he has a crowler of Double Tap Imperial Stout. He has to figure out who to share it with.
Now, my hand went up first.
Well, it's a crowler. There's 32 ounces.
Yeah, and I'll drink 20 of them.
Well, not if he doesn't pour you 20 of them. It's his crowler.
That's true. So I've got to eliminate you guys to get more of the pour. I need a bigger piece of that pie. Even if it is sweet potato pie, which apparently is not a dessert, according
Which
to
apparently is not dessert. Right. I want to switch gears for a second. Yeah, we've talked about on the show where we've been Doug and I've been back and forth. We're trying to get a date for probably about 1.5 years, almost 2 years now. He's just very, very busy, as you can.
Dave's trying to get a date with his wife.
No, Doug Valecki, which we call it the
I've heard of him.
marketing director from Revolution Brewing. He does the Beer Aficionado Instagram. If you follow him, amazing stuff. I mean, follow him. If you don't, go to Instagram, follow Beer Aficionado.
Yeah, follow him, and you'll have another cease and desist or restraining order.
Yeah, right, exactly. Not follow him.
We mean follow him on.
Follow him on Instagram. There you go.
Okay. Not everywhere he goes. Don't follow him to the
follow him everywhere
bathroom.
he goes, yeah.
It's okay.
But he's put out a couple of things, and he put out one recently, last few days actually, where he refers to, and we're bringing this up again, Sierra Nevada Celebration as the GOAT when it comes to holiday beers, for a few reasons. One, it's a holiday beer, clearly, right? Fresh hop IPA, but it also dabbles into 2 holidays, right? It doesn't focus and pigeonhole itself into Christmas. It pulls itself into the harvest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can drink it in October. Well, you can drink it anytime. I drink Sierra Nevada. I drink Sierra Nevada Celebration in July on our Christmas in July show. So, but
I can attest to that.
But
I'll be a witness for the defense.
there you go. But it's a harvest beer.
Or in John's case, a witness for the offense.
Full beer. It's a Christmas ale. It's a holiday beer. You can drink it into the winter. It doesn't pigeonhole itself, so it covers itself. Now, as much as this beer as they brew, you'll be hard pressed to find it much after Christmas, right? It's usually gone by then. But it doesn't have. If there is any lingering, it's not something that's gonna just sit and be a sheltered at that point. It can still get bought, and usually does by me. I just go around and buy the rest of it up if it's not. But yeah,
30 and a half cases a year.
30 and a half cases a year, exactly. But in any event, yeah. So what's your opinion on that? How do you feel about his proclamation that it is the GOAT of holiday ales?
I'll let Kelsey go first on that one.
I agree with it. Yet there is a small brewery that is currently in a process of things called Anchor that I was always a Christmas ale. That was
And,
always
and New Year's, Christmas and New Year's.
yes.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yep.
That's
So,
special ale. That's the name
It
of the
would
beer.
that was my go-to, but I can see how Sierra
I'm not going to
Nevada
pull it out.
is because
Let me whip this out.
Let me excuse me while I
no.
whip this out.
I can definitely see how that wins. I mean,
I can see it, especially in a in a hop centric nation as this. John, you've heard my opinion on this before. I love Celebration. It's a great beer. Hops to me don't scream holiday. It never has. I love the beer.
They don't to me either. This does.
It just doesn't for me. To me, this is. I enjoy the beer, and despite the name and the can art, and the majority of people disagreeing with me on this, I don't consider it really a holiday beer as far as style and flavor.
Which is why I'm safe leaving it every year on my number one.
Yeah, because I'm never going to take
You're
it.
never going to take it. So.
Because my number one is for holiday beers.
Christmas bomb.
It's Christmas Bomb by Prairie.
Mm-hmm.
Just the beer itself to me screams holiday. There's everything. It's basically like what Dave was saying about Anchor. It's this annual thing that changes a little bit every year, but it's got these Christmas flavors in this. It's a Christmas beer, but it's in a big ass knock your ass on the ground stout, right? And I love it. Every year I get, and I've already got mine from Booten. I've got the pack that has 2 from last year, 2 from this year, and the glass.
Nice.
So I'm starting. This will be my third year I've done that. So I've got 3 glasses now. This one's got Santa playing a guitar. So if you want to see what that glass looks like, tune into our holiday beer shows. I'll be drinking out of it
next Tuesday. Yes,
next Tuesday. So to me, that's more of that Christmas beer. And the other great thing about it is most of the Christmas bombs.
Mm-hmm.
There is the find the difference. Just the label wraps around it, and there's
somebody found that funny.
Yeah, it's very fun. And there's and you've got a little game on it. So the best thing to do, and I tell everybody to do this: finish it first, then play the game. See how many differences you can find.
Yeah,
it gets quite frustrating.
So what would be your number? I would imagine Anchor would be your number one there, Council.
Yeah, I mean, if I would take them all only because if we're going by what's produced today when we're talking, then it would be Sierra Nevada. But if we're going back, it would be Anchor.
Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of other there's a lot of other holiday ales. You want to call them Christmas ales. You want to call them holiday ales. Whatever you want to call them. All of the Belgians, right? The Saint Bernardus Christmas ale, the Corsandon Christmas. Those are amazing, right? Scaldis Noel, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Le Chouf, Nice Chouf. Amazing. Getting into the States. Mad Elf, and I only say that you got to buy Mad Elf and sit on it for 2 years before you drink it.
At least. And just don't light a match.
No, it's rocky. But once it mellows, it's fan-fucking-tastic. But it has to sit for a while. I know I'll drink 1 or 2 Mad Elves just to have them fresh. Just to almost like what's the word I'm looking for? Research, right? Just to see. But I'll sit
research.
If I buy a 6-pack, I'll have 1 or 2. The rest I sit on. I'll have 1 the year after, but I'm not going to drink the bulk of them until 2 or 3 years after. And I have a bunch. So, but in any event, another one that's underrated and I think is a fantastic holiday ale is, and we're going to have one of these same conversations next week, I'm sure, but is Avery Old Jubilation.
That's a fantastic
beer. It's an amazing beer.
You're missing one. Hardywood's Gingerbread Stout.
Hardywood's Gingerbread Stout, sure, absolutely. Hardywood's Gingerbread Stout's amazing.
Especially the barrel aged version.
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap! I may have one.
I think I do too.
I may have one buried somewhere.
I think I actually have. I think I have an old 750.
Let me go. I gotta go get the shovel
of a barrel aged Hardywood gingerbread stout from years ago when Joe Granat was down at the brewery. It's got to be at least 6 years old. This thing, if not older.
No, that reminds me. I got beer to pick up at Brian's.
Yes, you do.
from,
So
from
do
the
I.
Vale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brian
We kind of all do.
delivered owls to him when we were out this past Saturday. But,
Didn't bring yours. Oh, did you order from?
I didn't order any. No,
Oh, that's
I actually I saw the texts after he had already left the Vale.
Gotcha.
So
That's right.
He
but
has
in
a
any
beer
event,
that he bought for me from when he went away, like North Carolina or something, when he did that trip, and he was sending us.
It's Richmond, Virginia. It's from
Richmond,
the Vale.
Yeah, when he went to
that's right.
Richmond, and he
Yeah,
still
so
had a beer
all the
for
good
me.
stouts.
But
I
in
bought
any
a lot
event,
of the bottles.
yeah, but there's so many good Christmas ales. I mean, Bell's Christmas Ale. It's a Scotch ale. You know me and Scotch ale. I love
Yeah.
Scotch. It's a fantastic beer.
That is a very
Harpoon Winter Warmer. I mean, me and John Stardomsky can sit and wax nostalgic about Harpoon Winter Warmer for an hour and a half, 2 hours easily.
All
daily.
3 of us, you know, I can as well.
Oh, you as well, and I'm sure Doug Smith can actually attest to that as well. Let me throw a couple comments up from him right now. Doug, what's up, guys? Just got back from Narragansett Brewing, drinking an I Am Providence Double Juicy Hazy.
Very nice.
And then he said, speaking of Christmas ale, got a 4-pack of Narragansett White Christmas. Also got some Sam Adams.
There's one of your big loves, John. Old
I was going there next. Sam Adams Old Fezziwig, and I'll more on that in 1 second. And he says, "Get the Mad Elf Grand Cru. It's ready to go." Yeah, you're right. It is.
If you really want to dabble in Mad Elf,
go for the Grand Cru. Get it straight.
No, go to the brewery where they have got vintages.
Oh yeah,
and they have blends.
That's true.
Another one, Great Lakes Christmas Ale.
Great Lakes Christmas Ale is fantastic.
That's a really, really good one.
The other one I was going to say, you're talking about Sam Adams Old Fezziwig. Last year, now they did something last year that they haven't done that. Years ago, they used to release Sam Adams Old Fezziwig, but it was for many years. It's been in
only the mix pack.
Only in a mix pack. So you're getting 3 bottles of it at best, if not 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So last year they released
and half the pack was Boston
Lager. Yeah.
Boston Lager. Yeah.
So you get it on its own. Last year they released it on its own. Yep. I bought 2 cases of it. I still have. I went through by January.
He still has a bottle left.
By January I only had 2 6-packs of it. Because that was I was drinking it. I wasn't the only one drinking it. We had some on Thanksgiving. We had some on Christmas. So there were a lot of people drinking it. So I have probably now I have
for the soup.
I have 1.5 6-packs of it left. More than I would normally have at this time, right? But I'm covered. But I actually went out and looked, and I didn't see anything online, and I didn't see anything in stores. A couple of stores that I visited while I was in there, I didn't see any. I just saw them in the mix pack, and I was they're back in the mix pack. But I did see in one store I was just in literally yesterday, nothing warm, but in the cold case, they have 1 row of Old Fezziwig, and it's a different 6-pack holder than they had last year, so it's fresh. It's not like last year's they just put out. So so they actually did release it again. So I'm not going to buy 2 cases. I'll probably buy like 2 6-packs of it.
So do you remember Fegley's Brewworks in Bethlehem?
Mary Monk's?
They would do one called Rude Elf.
Rude
Mary
Elf.
Monk's Rude Elf. Mary Monk's is from Weyerbacher.
Mary Monk's is from Weyerbacher. Well, they're 25 miles away from each other. But yeah, I screwed that up. But yeah, Rude Elf. Yes, you're right.
There was actually a little bit of legal action between them and Victory as far as the nomenclature of their holiday beers.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember how that actually went.
I don't either.
It was between Fegley's and Victory.
Yeah, because Mad Elf and Rude Elf.
No, Trogs is Mad Elf.
Trogs. I'm sorry, Trogs Mad Elf.
Yeah, there was
Trogs. I'm sorry, Trogs.
I remember that happening. Trogs had sent a cease and desist out to Fegley saying you got to change the naming.
Even
it's
though
too close to
Fegley's have been doing it longer, haven't they?
Something like that, but I think Trogs had a bigger foothold in the whole thing, and it just became a whole mess. And I guarantee, I don't know how they settled it, if it did go into a lawsuit, but more or less probably there was money exchanging hands.
More likely.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what? I mean, it's
silly.
I get it. It's silly because I mean, can you copyright Elf? Right? You know what I mean? I mean, it's Mad Elf or Rude Elf. I get where they're going with that, but it is different, right?
It
So
is.
how would you argue that?
How would I argue that? I mean,
From either side. Give me it from both sides. How would you argue it?
First,
Let's get those skills going.
if I'm taking the legal point of view, I'm looking at the packaging first, and I'm going, all right, if I put this in front of a focus group, and I go, great, which one? Like, I buy Mad Elf, am I going to pick up Brood Elf? No, Brood Elf had a blue background. Brood Elf had not as fine of a label. The packaging was a little more, I don't want to say, like pedestrian, but that's really what it was. Whereas Trogs always had that nice, like, crisp label. It was red. The letters were bold. It wasn't hidden. So it was very hard to create confusion to the consumer, in my eyes. And that's where my argument would have gone. Right. Kind of like where Stone did versus Keystone about, I was in law school, so about 7 years ago, there was that big lawsuit that Stone Brewing did against Keystone when in the cover of darkness, basically Keystone's, all their cans were just blue and they said just the word Stone on them.
Right.
And there was that big lawsuit that caused consumer confusion.
And then there was that whole thing where with Stone and Lagunitas, where Stone put out that label that just said IPA, which looked exactly like Lagunitas's, and Lagunitas sent them aside, cease and desist. That was, when there was a whole lot of, these wars going on between breweries and all this. And this was the first time where that had happened, where a brewery put a cease and desist against another brewery, that the whole craft beer community went, yeah, right. Because, we all know Lagunitas. We loved Lagunitas. They were just a bunch of stoners. And for them to actually have any impetus, any wherewithal to even want notice and to ask for cease and desist. And it was really funny because when they were all called out that it was just collusion between the two breweries to drum up publicity for each other.
Right.
Nothing ever came of that lawsuit. It just went away, as did the beer. So it was really funny that the whole craft beer community called them out and they kind of backed off of it. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, go play nice in the sandbox, you two.
Exactly. Yeah, go.
They were not even not playing nice in the sandbox. They were just having fun.
They were just having
I really think they were having fun and just like I said, drumming up publicity for each other.
Hey, have at it, right?
Yeah.
Doug Smith just commented again. Yes, the old Fezziwig actually says 2024 release on a 6-pack. Wonderful. I'm definitely picking up a couple of 6-packs of that.
Nice.
I'm not going to get 2 cases like I did last year. There's plenty of beer to have, and we have a lot more beer to drink too this year. So, but yeah, so that's fantastic that they did it again. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
Old Fezziwig is an amazing beer. It really, really is.
Yeah.
I just opened my third, by the way. I'm assuming you did already.
I've taken a sip of it. This one I'm going to sip for the rest of the show.
Gotcha. My third is another Schilling Modernism. It's a Czech style dark lager, so it's a Mavi Pivo, if you will.
Yes, I've had that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a delicious beer.
Yep.
I decided to go a little darker.
There you go. You went stout-esque, did you not?
Oh no, I'm going a little darker. I'm listening to Evanescence. No, sorry. No, I went Founders Breakfast. We're talking about Founders. Well, this is a lead into another story from look, he's
talk about a label that got a huge change to it. I remember.
Yeah, I don't like this label.
I don't like that label at all.
I missed the baby with the eating the cereal. That was a classic label.
The Gerber label.
Sometimes if it's not broke, you don't have to fix it.
Exactly.
I get facelifts, but facelift what needs a facelift. Don't facelift everything for the sake of facelifting.
Like Anchor's marketing, right? Their labels.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was just wrong.
And that was also Sapporo, by the way. So
yeah, of course.
Right.
So what did you open, John?
Well, so it was. I heard a story, and I couldn't confirm it. Was that Founders got basically threatened with a lawsuit that having the child on it was advertising to children. And if they didn't take it off, they were going to be sued. That was a story I heard. I could neither confirm nor deny that.
I tell you what, though, and the thing is, I'm a little. If that was the case, then I'm a little disappointed in Founders because of what they did when the Canadian Royal Mounted Police told them to take the Mountie off Canadian Breakfast Stout. So the very next label showed a rearing horse, insinuating that the horse had thrown the Mountie off of it.
Right.
Basically, yeah.
That's a great sense of humor. So if that was the case with Breakfast Stout, they could have done something
like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe the kid is now grown up. Right? And now instead of eating cereal, he's now drinking a breakfast stout.
Or he's drinking it out of a baba.
Right. But he's 21. Right.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, I actually still have
Crazy.
I actually still have two. I have two left. I had a bunch. I still have two bottles left of the 2017 release of CBS. That was the last one with the Mountie.
Yeah, I have 2 or 3 of those bottles upstairs.
And I brought one. We had one opening day of the brewery, Dave.
I was not there, unfortunately.
I do remember that. That was quite lovely.
Yes, that was a fun time. You were not. No, Council, you were not there.
No, I apologize.
I don't remember that.
I'm like Haley's Comet. I show up and I disappear.
There you go. This is very true. Just like after the Giant game. Where do you want to meet? Same place. I walk out. Where are you? I'm gone. All right. All right.
Yeah, we show up and I show up and disappear really quick. It's been my life.
Yeah. Literally walking out. Where do you want to meet? Just go back by the car. We'll meet right there. Okay. 10 minutes later. Where are you? We left.
Chelsea.
Doug Smith just said, hate the new Von Trapp label. So do I. Like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I don't get why. No, look, I love Von Trapp, and I'm going to ask them this. They're coming on the show in January, so we'll ask them.
What the fuck, guys?
We'll put that to them. And Doug, I hope you're going to be ready to comment in when they're on. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't hate it as much as I dislike the new breakfast stout label or anything like that, right?
Yeah,
there's
That's actually what I picked it up.
I don't like it. I just don't hate it as much as I hate the other. So I hate it, but
when I saw the label, I thought it was a new version of breakfast stout. Like, let me pick this up. No, it's just breakfast stout.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Just breakfast stout is still damn good.
Sure.
But the label sucks now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like it. You do something.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Von Trapp rebrand was a little odd because I was so used to looking for that silver green can, like those, just their can, and now it just kind of fades in with everything.
It just fades in with everything else. Yeah. It just you have to actually have to look for it to find it, right?
Exactly.
Looks like a hard seltzer can. Yes, Doug, it definitely does. The only place you don't have to look hard to find it is if you go up to Stowe and you go up to Von Trapp. So. If you can get up there, I suggest going up there because it's
beautiful.
It's quite lovely. Yeah, well, definitely have to get back up there soon. So, cool. Yep. Brian just said second beer collab, Ashton Brewing and a brewery called Coastal Brew Works. The world is your cloister. Oh, second beer is a collab between Ashton Brewing and a brewery called Coastal Brew Works. The world is your cloister, Belgian double with raisins and currants. I've heard of that beer.
I've heard of those breweries.
I've heard of both.
That might be a can of it right there.
So was this just burying the hatchet for when Ashton housed you guys at Paragon in the March Madness by having their whole staff show up and drink their own keg empty?
It was sure. No, Steve's great. I love those guys. We love those guys.
I jest.
I know.
He puts out some great beer.
He really does. And this was fantastic. Now, of course, I'll give you 3 guesses who, Matt did sit with Steve and they did go over this. And at the time, Max Kayada was brewing there too. So he was involved in a little bit of it, but not as much as obviously Matt and Steve. But this was an amazing beer. the raisins and currants, and this was an amazing beer. I loved it. I actually still I have two. I mean, it's gone, right? We did it last year. I have 2 cans of it left, and I'm like, I don't know when I want to drink them because I don't want to save them forever, right? But if I drink one now, I only have one left. It's like one of those beers, right? So
what is it Gene who says it all the time?
Drink your beer. No, it's Joe.
It's Joe. That's right. It's Granite.
Right.
And says the Modelo drinker. He can shut up.
Says the guy that drinks Modelo. Yeah. So,
why do we let a Modelo drinker?
Oh, he's not a Modelo drinker. He's a craft beer drinker. He just like he enjoys when he goes to Jets games. That's when he drinks Modelo. When he's going for a long haul and he's going to be sessioning and pounding beer, he drinks Modelo because he does. Look, I enjoy Modelo Negra. Modelo Negra is a good beer.
Absolutely.
I can't drink 90 of them. I'll drink 1 or 2, but I do enjoy the beer, right? I will have it. If you twisted my arm and made me drink a regular Modelo Especial,
it's still a good beer.
It's a good beer. I can drink it. Less than I'll drink the Negra, but I can still drink it. It's actually probably the best Mexican lager that there is out there. I will give you that. It really is.
Best lager from Mexico.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for clarifying. The best. Yes. Yeah. There's plenty of better Mexican lagers that are brewed in the United States. Right. It's the best lager brewed in Mexico. Mexican lager brewed in Mexico. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah. His love and devoutness for that beer does make one wonder. But he does make no mistake. He does enjoy craft beer. He's a huge Hardywood fan. And he's definitely consumed plenty of his share of gingerbread stout. So
yes, he has.
There you go. But Brian, thank you for enjoying that. Please let me know what you think of that beer too. Let us know what you think of that beer. I loved that beer. I loved brewing that beer too. We drank, and look, quick story. When it comes to a collab day, right? 2 breweries get together. Whatever brewery's going to brew, whichever of the 2 breweries is going to brew it. You meet there and you come up with the recipe. And while you're coming up with the recipe and everything else, you have a couple beers. And that's fine, right? And then you pick the brew date and everything else. And you source the ingredients and so forth and so on. And then the brew day comes, right? And on the brew day, right, it's basically the brewery's head brewer brewing the beer. Both breweries' owners and anybody else that's there from the other brewery will mill a bag of grain, pour a bag in, right? They'll do something. Pour some hops in. Do something, right? But I'm not saying this because the breweries are lazy. I'm saying this because kudos to the brewery that's brewing the beer's head brewer, right? Because he's actually doing a lot of the work, right? But it basically is a bottle share, all right?
Always.
And then comes kegging and canning day, another bottle share. Mm-hmm. But everybody does work, including the brewery that is the guest brewery. Everybody works. Everybody's canning. Everybody's kegging. Everybody's doing work, but it's still a bottle share, right? And I do have to tell you, I had one. There was many great beers that were drank during the making of this beer that Brian is drinking right now. But the one that was probably the most amazing was a 2004 bottle. I think it was 2004 bottle of Raison d'Extra from Dogfish Head.
Ooh, nice.
So it was almost 20 years old at the time. It might have been 20. It might have been 2003. So it might have been 20 years old, and it was fan-fucking-tastic. And Steve Ashton had a bottle of it. He's the one that brought it in, and it was kudos to him for bringing that in. That was amazing. So I gave you that whole story just to get to that fact. That's all.
Okay then.
All righty. Anyway. All right. One other thing on the celebration thing, and not to get back to Doug Valicki, Sierra Nevada has always, now they brew the beer. Obviously, years ago they brewed it out in Chico, but now they brew it in Mills River down in North Carolina, which Dave and I have both been to. Mm-hmm. And what happens is they have very large, very large brew house.
Tracts of land.
Well, that too, right? There's big, huge bags for the dry hopping, for the fresh hopping of the beer, right? when they keg the beer, when they can the beer, when they pull the beer out, and well, not even keg and can it, when they pull the beer out of and send it to the fermenter, okay, there's, I'm sorry, this is in the fermenters, right?
Okay.
It's not in the brew house. It's in the fermenters. The dry hops are sitting in there. When they
The,
keg
the,
it,
fer-
send
the
it to
fermenters are not in the brew house?
well, no. I'm not talking about the brew house. I said they had a big brew house. I meant fermenters. I mistook myself before. When they send it to the bright tank to sit and condition, they have these bags are still sitting in the fermenter, right? They can't, and it takes many people to because they're very big fermenters, so they're very big bags, so they're heavy, right? And they're wet and everything else. So they move all the liquid out. It goes into the bright tank, and that's what they can and keg. But these bags are still sitting in there, and they do it the next day, right, or a day or two later, or whatever. They take the bags out, but there's more beer at the bottom of the fermenter because more beer has dripped out of these bags once they've already taken all the beer out of the fermenter, and they call that celly drippings.
Celly drippings. Yes.
Celly drippings, right? Or celly drippings, something like that. Celly meaning celebration, so celly drippings. So it's a much more concentrated version, if you will, of Sierra Nevada celebration. And for years, it was a secret. Like they used to take this and they would keg it. There would be maybe 5 barrels of it. That's how big these fermenters are. What would drip out, and they would take it and they would tap it at the brewery in Mills River. But nobody knew that they didn't like promote it or anything else. If you knew, you went and you got some. They filled growlers, they filled crowlers. You got some on tap there, whatever. You just went. This year, it's become so wide known. It's not a secret anymore. They actually announced the release of Celly Drippings.
That's what it was. Sierra, not found. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty cool. No way I'm going to be able to get down there. I think they release it next week. Or maybe they did it this week. No way.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but maybe one year I'll go down for Celly Drippings. I'm gonna have to do something. Like that. Maybe we can go together down. No, it's Mills River.
Oh yeah, Mills River, right down.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun.
There you go.
And we don't have they come. They've reopened, right?
I don't think they closed. They may have closed.
They closed, but I think it was for the sake of their employees, not so much because there was any.
It was for the sake of the employees. Not there was a little bit of damage out in the back. If you, Dave and I've been there. If you've been to Mills River, there's a band shell out in the back, way out in the back. A lot of that forest area and some of that was actually damaged. But the brewery itself, knock on wood, they were fine. But they did close because of their employees that lived around the area and everything else. But yeah, they've since reopened. And I'd like to get a report. We'll have to look into that. And find out how everybody's doing down there. I've heard some stuff from Highwire, mainly because I talked to the one tapper manager that I was talking to. But they're getting there. But not so much the location that was severely damaged, but the South Slope is handling a bunch of stuff. But anyway, I'd like to do a little research and see how they're faring, or a lot of the places that actually did sustain damage. Silicoa, I don't even want to talk about. I feel so bad for those guys.
The brewery's just gone.
It's gone.
It's just gone. And that was just that I think there were so many great breweries I visited while I was down there. I think, how, you go to a brewery, you have an expectation, and it lives up to it. That's great. And then you go to a brewery and you have no expectations of that brewery, and and you're like, this is so cool.
Yeah. And
that was Silicoa. Yeah. Right. It's like, okay, let's go check them out. It looks like they got a good beer list, and you get
it's
there.
It's a bit of a ride, It was like it wasn't like you're walking around the South Slope or you're going down to the. It was a bit of a ride. You had to want to go.
Yeah, but man, it was just such a cool place to hang out. The staff were all amazing. The beer was fantastic. Yep. It was like very family and dog friendly. They had.
Oh, it's super, super dog friendly. Dog friendly to a fault, almost.
It was just absolutely amazing place to sit and drink. And to me, I think that was my favorite find
Oh
of
yeah.
that trip.
Hell yeah. I literally would not have gone there if you hadn't gone there before I went.
Yeah, it was just fantastic. Yeah,
Didn't get back there when Matt and Jim and I were down there. Just got there with Jess, but it was fantastic. Well, we spent a while there.
Yeah, and yes, Sierra Nevada blew my socks off, absolutely. And did it exceed expectations? It did. But you expected something from Sierra. We took the tour. We knew there was a restaurant. We knew it was amazing. And it was more amazing than we thought it was. But Zillico was just, and you know what I mean? Everybody who's been doing craft beer for a while and like the tour breweries know what I mean, that it was the find.
It was.
And that was so cool. So when I heard that they would just, the river wiped them away, that was heartbreaking.
It was very heartbreaking. So I hope they can do something, because it was just such a cool vibe, a cool space, cool people. The beer was very. It's not like the beer was meh and the vibe and the people were cool. Everything was great. So
the beer was fantastic.
Yeah. So
I know I donated to their GoFundMe.
Yep.
So hopefully a lot of people have, and that's given them enough money to get themselves back started.
And if they do get back started, we're gonna have to get back down there, Dave. You and I, if for no other reason than since the brewery got swept away, our stickers are gone. So we're gonna have to put new stickers up.
Oh yeah, we put new stickers. Did we put stickers? Yeah, you put stickers up there.
You didn't put stickers up while you were there.
No.
I put them up for both of us while I was.
Yeah, because I think by that point, because it wasn't one of the first breweries I had gone to, so I had run out of stickers.
You were out.
I was tapped out of stickers at that point. So,
cool. All right. Hey, I think it's time for the top three. What do you think?
Yes, it's getting time for me to go to bed.
Yeah, it's about that time. I'm really getting a little hungry. Time for dinner. It's 9:30 already. So, now we brought this up before. It is National Macchiato Day. So happy National Macchiato Day for those who celebrate. But we decided for our top three tonight, top three coffee preparations.
Now, the thing about, before you get into it, a macchiato, very simply, is espresso.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a couple ways to do it. There is the espresso macchiato and there's the latte macchiato.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the espresso macchiato is really just a cup of espresso with a dollop of the steamed whipped cream on top.
Yep. Right.
Because macchiato in Italian means spotted or stained.
Right.
So you're just staining it. When you go the other way, it's a latte macchiato. It's the other way around, where you've got your steamed milk and you pour the macchiato right down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that gets poured in the glass, it's this little magical thing where the espresso sits between the highly whipped cream, which is on top, and the steamed cream, which is on the bottom. So it almost like a parfait.
It's almost layered. Yeah, layered. It's layered.
Yeah. So there's a couple of ways to do a macchiato.
Anybody that's experienced of a macchiato is purely at Starbucks has had the latte macchiato.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have, and not done correctly.
Right. Yeah. And also with caramel.
Yeah, there's that as well.
So top three favorite coffee preparations, and this can be any preparation you want, whether it's just a specific blend, a specific bean, a specific country, a specific way it's prepared, whether it's a latte or whatever, anything. Top three favorite coffee preparations. Council, please have at it first.
That is a loaded question for a person in a profession that consumes a shit ton of coffee. So, in number three, I think I would say like Italian espresso, just like a traditional Italian espresso with maybe buca in there. And
you're making it Greek coffee now. So you're looking at the little Demitas glass.
Yep.
Yep. I don't disagree with that at all.
No, that would definitely be up there. Number two, I'm a sucker for a good cappuccino.
There you go.
I do like a good cappuccino. I'm not big with milk, so that's just kind of like a me thing. Right. But I like cappuccino because I feel like there's just enough milk for me where I don't feel gross after drinking it. Like lattes and macchiatos and stuff, I could always feel like that milk a little too much for me. And then number one, I I love just a good Colombian like medium roast coffee. There's actually a really good coffee spot our neighbors own in Chester, New Jersey called El Monte Roastery,
Okay.
and they do a Colombian roast that is just out of this world.
Black, cream, sugar.
Oh, I
what
do
you
it
put
black, just black.
Okay. There you go.
I'm very simple when it comes to my coffees.
There you go.
All right.
Samurai.
Okay. One honorable mention, and that would be the cafe latte. Now, in America, we just call them lattes. You go to Italy and ask for a latte, they're going to hand you a glass of milk. Because
This is
latte,
true.
latte
Latte
is
means
just-
milk.
that's all it means.
If you order
So-
a latte, you're getting milk. Yeah.
So cafe latte or cafe e latte,
Cafe e latte. Right.
right? And that's that fancy cup that you get where they've done the squiggle, either the hearts or something else in pattern. And I think the reason, yes, I really enjoy them.
It's coffee with milk. That's all it is.
That's all it is. But it's a steamed milk, and they do the patterns in it.
Right.
And for me, it's not so much. It's not because when I'm taking to go, I will never get a cafe latte because you don't get that little artistry in there, and that artistry makes me feel good. There's just something magical about that. So this is why it's only an honorable mention, because I would never order it to go. That's never happened from a coffee shop. So that said, now my true top three. When we went to Germany.
Mhm.
We stopped in Portugal first, and one of the in airport, it was just a layover. We had to grab some kind of like breakfast thing because we took a red eye over, and so we got like croissants, brioche, cornetto, whatever you want to call it. It's croissant, and a coffee. But they had this thing, and and they had it in Germany too, and they had it in our hotel, and it's not mocha. It's like half coffee, half hot chocolate. So fucking good. I drank this stuff that was coming out of my ears when I was in Germany. It was just, oh my God, this is so good. So that's my number three, is this chocolate coffee that they had. There was
I think Dave froze.
I think Dave froze. Either that or he's really thinking hard. He might be thinking hard. He might be like, he's so.
name for it. I can't remember that. Am I back?
You're back, yeah.
Okay. Because as far as I was concerned, all of us were spinning. So yeah, every time I look it up, try to find out what it just comes up. It's mocha. It's not mocha. It's something different. So that's my number three. My number two, going back to the Italian coffees, affogato.
Sure.
Oh, a coffee affogato is just, to me, one of the perfect ways to end a really good Italian meal.
Mhm.
Give me a dollop of the vanilla bean ice cream in that cup, pour the espresso around it, and let that ice cream just melt into it. And that is, give me that little spoon. I'll eat some of the ice cream first so I don't completely dilute the coffee. But that's one of my favorite things, coffee affogato. My number one coffee preparation. And you have to have a stemmed, handled, clear glass coffee cup for this one.
Mm-hmm.
That is Irish coffee.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
And I just love Irish coffee, especially if you're taking the time and you've made the whipped cream yourself. Because what you can do is you can infuse that whipped cream like they do at Cloverleaf, infuse it with some Baileys or something, as well, to get that little Bailey flavor into it. And that's just, and I'm not one of those that like to put creme de menthe in mine. I know some people do. Have fun. That's great. Enjoy it for yourself. I like it. I like it straight up. Give me the coffee. Put some JMO in it. Put some whipped cream in it.
JMO, I mean, do you enjoy the Bailey's Irish coffee or you want JMO? You want Irish whiskey in it. You don't want.
Oh, it's Irish whiskey. An Irish coffee's got Irish whiskey in it.
Oh, no, I understand. No.
But
I'm not saying one's one in it. I'm saying, do you enjoy ever a Bailey's Irish coffee too, or is it only about the Irish coffee, the Irish whiskey coffee?
For the sake of this argument, it's the Irish whiskey, but Bailey's is just, it's Irish whiskey with cream in it. That's
True.
all. That's really all it is.
No, you're right. It is, but that being the point, you're putting less Irish whiskey in the coffee. You're putting
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that's why I would infuse whipped cream with it. But no, I'm putting the Irish whiskey in the coffee.
Fair enough.
And I don't know if you've ever done this. Have you ever found bourbon cream?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That is one of my
Fantastic.
favorite things in the world. I haven't had it in a while. Next time I go to Booten, I've got to get some more of that. Actually, I could probably find it in Jersey City. Oh, that's just so good. The only problem is it doesn't last me 2 days once I get it.
Gotcha.
And it's
What's having that effect on people?
to me it's an aperitif. It's a nightcap. I'm going to that helps. It helps me sleep. That and about half a bottle of tequila.
All right.
On to you.
On to me. My number 3, my number 2 are ones that I only drink. I only really can drink now, right? From a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago through New Year's, and that's it. But I look forward to it. I don't think about it in February and March and April and through the summer or whatever. But we get into the fall and I start thinking about it. And start thinking about that time of year or whatever. But my number 3 would be honestly, and I've made them at home, so it's not just Starbucks. All right. Yes, I've had them at Starbucks plenty of times, but I've made them at home too. That's a peppermint latte. I love peppermint tea. I'm a huge peppermint tea fan. So peppermint lattes are, I like. It's like peppermint tea on acid, if you will, for me.
If you can guess from my earlier statement, I don't think mint belongs in coffee.
It's not mint. It's peppermint.
It's still a mint.
I can drink a mint tea. I don't necessarily like a mint tea. I love a peppermint tea.
But wouldn't peppermint be deemed a subcategory of mint?
You drink a mint tea and drink a peppermint tea and tell me if they taste anywhere near each other.
No, because when you say mint tea, you're talking about spearmint.
Right.
And when I say creme de menthe is spearmint.
Right.
But to me, mint
peppermint
is
schnapps.
Peppermint is, as far as I'm concerned, a completely different flavor than spearmint.
Oh, it's a different flavor, absolutely.
Yeah, it's got the same last 4 letters. That's about only.
And I do enjoy spearmint. I'm sorry, peppermint better than spearmint.
Oh yeah,
I enjoy them both more than I think I enjoy wintergreen more than I do.
I enjoy wintergreen more than spearmint.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but now we're talking about gum, but that's besides.
I still don't want any mint in my coffee. Just a personal thing.
No, it's you. That's fine. But
and you also know I don't like it so much in my beer. There's been a few peppermint beers that I've enjoyed. That's a rare thing, though.
Fair enough. But peppermint lattes, they're definitely my number. They're in the top 3. They're my number 3.
And I wouldn't shame you for doing the Starbucks thing because there's one thing that I would do every year. I'd always get the gingerbread latte.
Yep.
Every single year.
Gingerbread. If I gave an honorable mention, gingerbread latte would be.
They don't, but they haven't done it in years.
They haven't. Yeah, I haven't had it in at least probably before the pandemic, probably before 2020. But peppermint latte definitely, and another one. And I do this much more at home than I ever have at Starbucks. But that would be eggnog and coffee. So, and have at it. Shake your heads. I don't care.
No.
I am a huge eggnog fan.
I am too, but John, I make my own. I would never get carton. I would never. Well, carton beer, yes, but never a carton of eggnog.
I'm just taking that. I'm just taking that snippet. I would never get carton. What?
Send that to. I can say it once. Send that to Augie.
Oh yeah, I would never get carton.
I never get carton. But no, because I make my own eggnog.
I can't say I make my own eggnog. I can say I have made my own eggnog.
Oh, I make.
There are now
at least twice a year. I make it.
There are a couple of cartoned pre-made eggnogs that I do enjoy. There are many that I can't fucking stand. But
the best one when I did drink before I started making my own eggnog and can't stand it anymore. Chipwich I thought was one of the best.
Chipwich was good. Turkey Hill has surprised me from time to time. In a pinch, it's good, but Chipwich is good. Southern Comfort's decent.
Yeah, Southern Comfort's decent. I just can't. I can't. And you know it's fake eggnog flavor they put in that. I'm
Right.
sure you do it better with when you use carton eggnog, cartonized eggnog.
Cartonized, yeah, but I'll get a good one. I'm not going to the store and spending $4 on a gallon of cartonized eggnog. Right? I'm getting a good one because I'm not just sitting there and pouring big glasses of eggnog and downing it. Right. I'm getting it to
I am.
put in coffee. Right. No, if I'm doing that, I'm making
Making-
eggnog. I'm making
So when you make your eggnog, what spirit do you put in it?
bourbon.
It's classic. And you know me, I'm typically all for the classic, I'm all for the tradition. You know, eggnog is why I break tradition.
Yep. You do wrong.
No,
No. Go ahead.
amaretto.
Amaretto, yes. You put amaretto in it. Yeah.
Amaretto makes it so that, oh my, even people who don't like eggnog will come back for, they're like, are you out of eggs? Because we need another batch of this.
Exactly. Which brings me to my number one coffee,
Yep.
and that would be coffee with amaretto and cream.
Ooh.
I can respect that.
That's
That
my number
one.
one.
That one can absolutely
I
respect.
have that all year long. I go out to dinner. We go out to a nice dinner, and we're getting coffee afterwards. We're in a nice restaurant or whatever, especially an Italian restaurant or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're getting coffee. I'm getting a double amaretto, and I'm getting my coffee, and I'm pouring half of the amaretto in my coffee with the cream, and I'm drinking the other half of my amaretto. And it's Di Serrano that I'm getting.
Oh, I got a big bottle of Di Serrano sitting over there,
Right.
and it's in preparation for this season
Right.
because it's not just the eggnog,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna have to try it in the coffee now that you brought that up. But also, that's how I make my hot cocoa.
Yeah, that's great in hot cocoa. It's
Well,
fantastic.
but here's the thing: it's also from a procedural point of view, because anybody who has put milk into a pot and tried to whisk cocoa powder into milk has been frustrated as hell and has
It takes about an hour and a half to actually finally blend together.
and you've got carpal tunnel syndrome by the
Right.
time you're done. But if you take the cocoa powder, put it in the pot, put the amaretto di Serrano or any liqueur for that
Any
matter,
liqueur, yeah, any liqueur.
it just instantly dissolves into it. Then you add your milk. It is saving you forever.
Oddly enough, I actually have done it with I've done that with cream de menthe. It actually works really good.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of cream de menthe, but I will do that with cream de menthe.
Next time you do it with amaretto.
Oh no, I've done it with amaretto.
Okay.
Oh no, I've done it with amaretto. I'm just saying I brought that up because of your cream de menthe before. Actually, it's not. I don't love cream de menthe. I don't hate cream de menthe, but I don't love cream de menthe. But I will do that with cream de menthe. So it's like a hot cocoa with a little bit of mint in it. It's not bad.
A little bit's not too bad in hot cocoa. I'll give you that. But also, Grand Marnier works pretty nicely for cocoa.
Hell yeah.
One thing that drives me crazy because you think it would, but it's just too lightly, delicately flavored is Chambord.
Oh, that's big though.
You've got to use so much of it to get it to come out in hot cocoa, and it's just then you don't get that richness. So Chambord in hot cocoa for me just doesn't work, and it breaks my heart that it doesn't because I love Chambord.
So what you got to do is you got to do a layered shot: half Chambord, half Screwball whiskey.
Yes. You got to do
a peanut butter and jelly shot. There you go.
Yeah. That'll do it. And then make sure you got the insulin set aside.
Right on the side, just ready.
That Screwball whiskey is going to raise your sugar.
Wow,
your A1C is going through the roof.
Cool. And I think we can all agree, as an honorable mention for all of us, that one of our favorite coffee preparations is
coffee beer.
Is that beer right there?
Coffee and just about any beer, but yes, definitely that one. I've got two. I do have two of them left. They're in the fridge, so they're safe.
There you go.
There's coffee in this beer.
We will be brewing that actually in January.
You're brewing breakfast out in January?
No, Nautical Twilight. We'll be doing.
Oh, when are you doing my variant?
Maybe we'll do it as part of this brew.
Dave, have you heard my variant, the collab I want to do with him?
No, I have not. What is this?
It's gonna.
He wants to put spearmint in.
Yeah, yes, it will. Spearmint and wintergreen together. No,
and a little bit of turkey giblet gravy.
No, it would be called what I call it, nautical.
I forget what you call it.
I forget. There was a name I had for it, which actually worked pretty nicely.
I know you'll have to brainstorm. I if you say it, I'll know it.
Yeah,
but,
it was nautical. No, Twilight Sailing.
Okay.
Wasn't it? It was Twilight. No, that
there was something else to it.
No, there's only 2 words, but it was something along. At any rate,
no,
what it is, it's nautical Twilight, but with coconut.
With coconut, yeah.
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
Mm-hmm. So
coconutical Twilight.
Oh no, nautical departure.
Nautical departure. That's what it was.
Or Twilight departure. Twilight departure.
Twilight. Was it Twilight departure? Yes, it was Twilight departure.
Twilight departure.
Twilight departure. Yeah.
Because what it'll be the same, almost the same label, but it'll have like a boat on it. But it'll be one of those Japanese boats with the silhouette of a samurai on the back of the boat.
Yes, because
standing on the back.
There you go.
Because anywhere that Dave can slap his samurai is
slap my samurai. That's a new one.
well, folks, I'm gonna go slap my samurai. Never heard that one before, but
that's okay. So we've added one to the lexicon. I like that.
Samurai. Hold on.
Punish the Pope, beat the bishop, slap my samurai.
Slap my samurai, really. I gotta love it. That's definitely an open.
Oh boy.
Slap my samurai. Slap my samurai. How do you spell samurai?
SAMUR.
I know how you spell samurai. There you go. Anyway. Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm good.
I'm ready for bed.
I'm ready. Well, we got another comment in here. I got to throw that up beforehand.
Oh, Dougie.
Doug. One more thing. Daniel Jones is trash. Well, it's a good thing. Hold on. We haven't even talked about this, and I don't want to get into it because anymore.
Daniel Jones. He needs the poo emoji before that trash can because it means Daniel Jones is shit canned.
Shit canned, yeah.
Ooh.
What we need to discuss here, really quick, is anybody wants to hear more elaboration on the whole Daniel Jones thing and the Giants and everything else, and the Jets and what's going on. Please tune in to the sports podcast tomorrow night at 7:30. The Get On With It sports podcast. We'll be talking plenty about that. But however, the Giants just signed another quarterback to the practice squad today.
Aaron Rodgers?
No. But ironically, it was a quarterback that was on the Jets a couple of years ago.
Wasn't it last year?
Was it last year he was on?
Yeah, I thought he played a game for them last year.
It might have been last year. Yeah. It was Tim
Boyle.
Tim Boyle, yeah. The Giants signed Tim Boyle to the practice squad, which
I thought he was a shortstop for the Phillies.
So what this means is that Daniel Jones will not take another snap because they were talking about what happens, God forbid, if Tommy DeVito gets hurt, then Drew Lock comes in and Drew Lock gets hurt. Now Daniel Jones has to play, right? Nope. This is not. Daniel Jones has taken his last snap for the Giants. He will not play another snap.
He's going to be that, like what DeVito was. He's going to be the inactive, active on game day only emergency quarterback.
Exactly. And if, God forbid, Tommy DeVito gets hurt and Drew Lock comes in, the next game, if Tommy DeVito is hurt enough that he can't go, Tim Boyle will be activated and become the second string behind Drew Lock. Daniel Jones will not take another snap for the Giants. So, yes.
I love that meme when they said that when they were in Germany after the game. Dabble took Daniel Jones out to the fields, took his collar off and said, "You're free, boy. Go and run. Go. Let's go."
And yet
then pulled in the car and ran off.
We all know as Giants fans, he's going to end up somewhere, and he's going to have a decent career.
Oh, he's going to go. Yeah, he'll go to playoff after playoff.
So,
but where?
Exactly. So there's this. Hold on, I have to put it up. So I think I can. There we go. So
That's
there's
it.
that, right?
Shit canned.
Shit canned. Or if you really want to, we can actually do this one.
I've
Okay.
never met somebody who is as fast on emojis as John in my lifetime.
Always in groups of 3. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Well, you got to have groups of 3, right? So there's this one.
He's just a
There's this
little,
one. There's this
He's
one
just a
too.
little OCD.
Just a little bit.
There's this one too. He's also hot garbage. There you go.
Garbage. Yes.
Oh.
That's that's what you're doing over there. I see.
There you go.
Gotcha.
So,
And you're putting it on all the.
well, no, you hit it once,
so it goes
and
to
it
all.
goes to all 3. Yeah. So there you go.
So at any rate,
So there
Alrighty.
you go. That's the one from Facebook. There you go.
there we go.
Hot garbage. There you go. So yes. Hey, at least we're not the Jets. That's all I have to say. Okay.
You saw my post earlier. I feel sorry for the Jets fans.
The Jets did the Jets continue to jet it up.
They could be the first team in history to fire an interim coach.
That'd be the jettiest thing they've ever done.
I got to tell you, for what Woody Johnson is doing, with no disrespect to Woody Johnson as a person, as an owner, for what Woody Johnson is doing, it should almost make Jets fans wish that the Wilpons owned the Jets as opposed to Woody Johnson. Okay, it's just whatever. Anyway,
all right.
So, Dave, thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
This was fantastic. I'm so happy.
Now you're gonna stop bugging us now, right?
Yeah. 6 months.
6 months.
There's a statute of limitations.
We'll revisit this in May. And there you go. But it was fantastic. I'm
Yes,
so happy.
thank you
came
so
on.
much.
No, thank you guys.
You got it. But stick around. We'll talk for a minute. On that note, we will wrap up the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.loggerroom.com. That's LEGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Logger Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Sorry about tonight. Tonight was amazing.
An abomination.
Tonight was an abomination. Yes.
Aberration.
Oh, it was an aberration, but it was both.
Enigma.
It is an enigma. There you go.
Wrapped in a puzzle.
Exactly. But for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Google Podcast, Amazon Music Podcast, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Castbox, Deezer, Podchaser, Listen Notes. Pretty much anywhere you can find an audio podcast, you will find the Log Room Guys Craft Beer Podcast. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Dave, once again, thanks for coming on.
Yep.
We really appreciate it. Drink a lot of beer, folks, but drink responsibly. And we will talk to you next week, folks, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, next Tuesday night, our holiday beer show with our guests, Tom, the Beer Whisperer,
Hear that,
Mobile
liver?
Hill. Yeah. Tom, the Beer Whisperer, Mobile Hill, Tom, the Beer Whisperer, Mobile Hill, and John, Brew Guru Starodumsky, our annual holiday beer show before Thanksgiving. It's going to be fun. Make sure you tune in. We will talk to you then, folks. Take care.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers, folks. Founders, fix this goddamn label.
There you go.
Court is adjourned.